I knew Raymond very well and used to go to his house often, but after he died, I cleared his studio. A lot of rubbish, a lot of old leaves and things left over from when he'd had animals and foxes set up for painting. A lot of the studies of the animals, the unframed studies, a lot of the early drawings, they were all mixed up with piles of paper. I don't think we threw anything away that was of any value, but it was literally clearing a room that had been a workroom for 40-odd years, and people had never been allowed into it. The only thing he encouraged to come in was spiders, because when he had birds or foxes or badgers articulated for painting, they tended to attract flies, so the spiders were welcome because they got rid of the flies. Raymond didn't keep a garden beautiful. A garden was basically for him a laboratory where he could grow the specimens that he wanted to paint. He built his own greenhouses, he built a conservatory to the house. He said he never liked to paint a plant that he hadn't grown through a whole season, so as he could see it in bud, in flower, the dead form, that he really wanted to know everything he could about plants. Japonica magnifica grew out of some correspondence that Raymond Booth had with Don Elik. And this had grown from a plant that Raymond had bought in England from a plantsman, a Neo-Phoenicia, and he had drawn it. He wanted to discover more about the natural habitat of the plant, about its history, etc. And he asked the plantsman what he knew, and he said, well, I'll put you in touch with the man I bought it from. And Don Elik worked for an American pharmaceutical company in Japan, but was a fanatic botanist. And the two of them, from that point, got into a correspondence. And gradually the idea of doing a book together evolved. And a lot of very illicit parcels containing roots and bulbs, etc., arrived in leads from Japan. Don Elik and Raymond Booth never met. And the first, as Raymond's dealer, that I knew about the idea of this book was an apology from Raymond to me for the long gap in producing work for an exhibition. And I then saw all the material for Japonica magnifica, and he said, I don't suppose anybody will be able to afford to publish it. And I, in fact, had all the dealings with the publishers, and it got published in both Britain and Japan. And all the illustrations for it, all the paintings, toured through half a dozen galleries in America before coming to London. And it is a most extraordinary product. And the fact that the two men never met is even more extraordinary.